Hail to the king, baby. It's Duke Nukem, and it's time for Inside the Game. Sit down and shut up and start watching.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? And welcome to the ITG Gamecast. Special guest joining us today. We got Eddie from Jyamma Games. We're going to talk about Entoria The Last Song. And of course, you know the other two bozos here. That's Michael and that's Alton. We're going to hang out here for the next hour. We're going to talk everything gaming today. Eddie, welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Dude, our pleasure.
Thank
This is all on us. Okay, let's talk about this. First of all, dude, I don't play Souls games. Nothing worse to me than grinding, bashing my head into a wall just to do it all over again. I am 15 hours into your game. I love this game. I've never had a Souls like hook me the way yours has. Alton's more of the Souls guy. What made you guys want to create a Souls-like experience with Entoria?
I mean, first of all, we all love Souls-like in the studio. I'm a bit of exception, maybe. I don't really strive for Souls-like in general. I love action RPGs, that's for sure. But I have your same issue where I don't really love grinding until the end of the time just to, go forward. I'm more of a story-driven guy. But yes, we basically started our journey back in 2019, and we were a mobile company, mobile game company, and our vision was ultimately to make Italy, I don't want to say great again. but let's say make Italy great and known abroad, and avoid all those kind of stereotypes that you usually see. Like we all love Mario, but it's a bit of stereotypical sometimes, and an entire culture grew up about people thinking, oh, Italy is just like pizza mafia, mandolino and stuff like that. So what happened is that COVID struck, and we already were like a remote company, but we were just counting 9 people at the time.
Okay.
And we had this amazing opportunity. We met super talented devs, and we decided to ramp up the studio and do something more impactful, for our vision and the mission of the company. So we moved to PC and console essentially.
Yeah.
And we tried with this new IP. Of course, we wanted to do something related to our folklore, our country in general. And again, that was not driven by those kind of stereotypes. We wanted to let people see Italy from another perspective, which was more an insider perspective, right? Mm-hmm. We as Italian really know very well what are the real issues right now. Like, of course, mafia is an issue, but it's a very known one. So we wanted to, change perspective and change people's mind around Italy and what is really about, and in the good and the bad, of course. Souls-like because, again, we love Souls-likes in general. We love action RPG. It's something that in Italy is not very common to see. We're pretty known for automotive, horror games, etc.
MotoGP.
Oh yeah. Like Maiton is huge. It's the biggest company in Italy. So we wanted to do something new for the Italian game industry and for Italian culture in general, right?
Sure.
And since we wanted, we had a problem where Italy is wonderful, of course, but at the same time we wanted to convey these themes, these new issues that we live every day, which are more subtle. You don't really see it at first glance. So we decided to go for a Souls-like. First of all, because for marketing reason, it is a very strong niche of people and players, and they always want more. Then you have to consider that when we started this project, there was no Lies of P, no Lords of the Fallen, no.
Yeah, sure.
There was just like.
Does that impact your game?
Positively and negatively at the same time.
Sure.
It depends. For sure, like hype wise, it helped because people started to think finally someone that is not from software maybe can do Souls likes in the right way. And at the same time, they set the standard bar so high right now. Also at the ring itself, but they set the standard so high that it's very difficult. Like it's very, very not accessible from a technical point of view. So it was a huge challenge. But ultimately, marketing aside, we felt that Souls-like was a safe. I don't want to say safe. It was a good fit for us because of we loved what we were doing, and at the same time, it's the right genre to convey this dualism between the wonderful Italy and at the same time the rotten inside aspect of it.
Yeah. I love that. That's amazing.
It's super cool. So for those who don't know what Entoria The Last Song is, can you tell them all about it?
Oh yeah, Entoria The Last Song is a Souls-like action RPG heavily based on Italian folklore. So if you usually play Souls-like from Software, they're amazing games, and they're usually distinctive by their color palette. It's very gritty and a grime world. Yeah, it's very dark.
Yeah,
it makes sense, right?
Entoria is beautiful and bright.
Yeah, it is.
We haven't had that since Assassin's Creed with Ezio.
Yeah, exactly. And so yes, it is challenging. It is a Souls-like, but in the end, it's an adventure in this fantasy world that it's heavily inspired by Italy. It's not Italy though. I don't know what else to say. it's a Souls game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So Nicholas joins us and said, pineapple belongs on pizza. Eddie, where do you stand with pineapple on pizza?
Oh my gosh.
I don't. Next one. I don't want to. We cannot swear, right?
No. Oh, you're gonna kill me.
Next one.
Yeah. That's okay. I knew I liked you. Pineapple on pizza. What is it?
Don't put fruit on pizza, please.
Get out of here, Nicholas. Get out of here. Yeah, dude. Okay, so Michael, you got any questions? I'm about to take over the show, boys. So hold me back. All right.
I mean, I want to know because I'm like Drew. I'm not a big Souls-like guy. I played a couple of them. What was when you guys knew you were gonna make a Souls-like? As you said, there's so many good ones, especially like from software. Did you ever focus on like we've got to have a niche to bring people in, or was it if we make a good Souls-like, people will play even if they're gonna say it feels like a Dark Soul, it feels like an Elden Ring, or was that need to say we need a niche so that we stand out?
It's kind of both. Like, of course, a niche it's a powerful marketing move to some extent, but it's also like it's pretty dangerous because on one hand you have people that you know for sure are gonna play the game because they love the genre. On the other hand, they're gonna be super cherry picking everything about the game, like everything.
Yeah.
And what we try to do is to make it more accessible to people like you guys who maybe are not super sweaters about Souls-like. and myself, right?
Yeah.
So the idea behind the entire game is that, first of all, didn't want to be a clone. This was like the first pillar of the game direction. Like, we don't have to be a clone, must not. Huge. So we gotta be distinctive. We gotta have something and be unique. And the second of all, again, we want it to be more accessible, and we try to iterate and play around with the gameplay so that you basically have at your you have all these tools, let's say, like the masks and all the loadouts and everything, so that even if you're not very good, you don't just hit the get good button, but you can just outsmart the game. That's the idea, right? So maybe you're not super mechanically skilled because you didn't play a lot of Souls-likes, but at the same time, if you have a very if you have a good brain, if you are good at thinking and knowing the game, you can beat it because you ultimately understood how the game works.
I absolutely love it. So I don't parry in anything. I parry all the time in this game. It is nothing. To stun the enemies and then just destroy them the next second is so rewarding. I've never felt so rewarded playing a game. And now I get the Souls hook. right? That's what it is. I went to in one boss not too long ago. I was just doing this, and I was there for an hour that night. Almost broke my controller. Walked away. Came back in the morning. Destroyed that villain there in one go. That boss was finished. One round. That's all it took. I came back the next day. Wiped her clean, and I'm like, oh man, the biggest grin, right? And I love the fact that it is so bright, it is so colorful,
It's
it is
gorgeous,
detailed, right? What engine did you guys use? Did you use an Unreal Engine 5?
Yeah, we remember. Actually, a fun story is not only we're just 60 people, but let's say that we.
Crazy.
Oh yeah, we ramped up the studio from 9 to 60. But honestly, on average, I would say that during the production, the most intense production phase, we were like 50, 45. We're 60, 65, but 55 developers, something like that. But we also went through 3 engine changes because we started with Unity and immediately realized, okay, this is not feasible anywhere like with Unity.
Right.
So all the engineering team had to learn how to use Unreal Engine 4. And once we moved everything to Unreal Engine 4 on a prototype state, let's say, Unreal Engine 5 hit the market. And so we were in front of a big decision. And we ultimately decided that moving to Unreal Engine 5 was probably a big gamble, but worth it.
Yep.
So on an artistic point of view, of course, it was worth it because we couldn't do what we have done without Unreal Engine 5 and the new lighting system and all this kind of stuff, right? On the engineering side, it was a hell because it was very difficult. The engine is very new. It's very unstable. Right now, it's much better, but used to be very unstable. And you can see it with basically all the game that released on Unreal Engine 5. They had problem. Also, Lords of the Fallen was a great game, but had problem at launch because
I bought it on launch, and I know exactly what you're talking about. Even to this day, I'm still having issues.
Oh yeah, but honestly, from a development point of view, from a developer point of view, you have no idea how difficult it is to do what Lords of the Fallen did on Unreal Engine 5.0.
With the lantern and changing worlds and stuff.
Oh yeah, it is like when it came out, like nobody thought it was going to be possible. But ultimately they did it. Like
I love it. It's a great game, but I still have multiple issues. But it was like I'm glad you brought it up because I think within my couple of hours of playing Entoria, I saw one minor glitch and that was it. Like it's extremely polished. I didn't notice any textures popping in, popping out, and I love with Dark Souls and Elden Ring. Like as you said, it's dark and gloomy, and it's just like you like looking at everything, but it's more in awe of like the crazy dead dragons or massive buildings. With Entoria, I find myself literally just stopping and admiring the Italian architecture and like the Tuscan fields and everything, and just the water. I'm just like, this is beautiful, just beautiful.
Yeah. So where the hell is my photo mode, Eddie?
Oh, all right.
Come on now, dude. I'm just like, I've stopped so many times just to look at the scenery. There are moments I'm like, give me a photo mode. You guys are killing me. All I want is a photo mode and a map. But I'll get to that one in a second.
All right, so we have another fun fact time right now. So, we have a debug mode, photo mode, right? We had it because of marketing purposes. Maybe you have to take some footage and stuff like that. And it was inside of the build of the game until Gamescom this year, so a couple of months ago.
Oh wow!
But it wasn't supposed to happen. And there was people during the event that somehow just, I don't know, fat fingering stuff. they managed to pull the photo mode out, and apparently by doing so they broke the entire game. And that's because it was not our tool. We had a third-party tool for this debug version because it was not meant to be released in public.
Yeah.
But it's definitely something we want to work on in the future because, you know, as you say, guys, like it's it's a bit of a, I don't want to say a shame, but you just really want to take a moment. Like, you have this kind of game.
I stop myself all the time. It's gorgeous. It's particularly that area where it's like moonlit and the purple vines are everywhere. It's like
that's early.
It's like it's early, but it's an Italian Avatar. Like just watching Avatar for the first time, it's like this is gorgeous. Let me take photos.
Yeah, it was killer.
I know. Unfortunately, you know, like production priorities and stuff like that.
I'm happy the game came out first rather than waiting another while to get photo mode.
Again, like we had issues at launch. By the way, we also had issues with bugs, etc. Maybe not huge ones, like not huge giga game breaking ones. But we're just focusing on finish all the fixes, all the bugs. We have community support channel on Discord, and they're reporting everything. And we're also taking all the kind of feedback they can give us. We actually have a roadmap out there to see all the changes we're going to do. So right now the full focus is just on fixing the game and having the most polished experience possible. But quality of life improvements and cool, you know, tools like the photo mode, of course, is something that we would love to introduce once we finish with all the high prior stuff, right?
Yeah.
Because again, like you want to take a second for yourself. Like I have the same fetish as you guys with the photo mode. Like when I play Ghost of Tsushima, it's impossible to me not to stop for a second and right. But also with Spider-Man and Cyberpunk, it's all like high adrenaline games. Maybe Ghost of Tsushima a bit less, but it's high adrenaline games. But sometimes you just want to take a pause, like hold on a second, let me
take it in.
Exactly.
This moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
The social posts I could be doing with this game right now would have been like non-stop, right?
I've taken a couple, but with my PlayStation in-game screen capture, and I just edited out the menu and stuff. And his head was like, "Oh, you're beautiful."
I can send you some custom screenshot. Just text me. I will do it. I will do it for you.
We'll talk after this. Absolutely. Michael, we're kind of hogging. You got anything before we override?
I'll be honest. I'm not the photo guy like they are. I'm the enemy guy, right? Like there's been certain enemies, the crabs with the giant cannons. Absolutely love them. The first time I saw one, I was just like, oh my god, what is this? So I want to know, what's your favorite enemy in the game? Is there a certain enemy boss or just a normal monster when you saw it, when you heard about it, you're like, this is awesome?
Can we spoiler? Like, is there a spoiler alert or something? Like,
all right.
Spoil? All right.
Spoiler alert, everybody. If you haven't played it yet, you might want to take out like 2 seconds, but come back shortly.
It is an enemy. It's a common enemy actually from the late game. It's in Lithuania. It's the Venetian inspired part, right? And it's the Fantolino, which are those small guys with a skirt and just like a head bubble, something like that. I don't know if you remember those, right? And I love them because ultimately they have a very, very dark lore behind them. And I don't know, they feel cute. Like they're like defenseless somehow, but at the same time they can be very frustrating sometimes because they explode and stuff. But actually the backstory is wonderful, and everything is related, of course, to the main bosses of the area. And they used to they're like kids, and they were imprisoned, and in slavery conditions and stuff like that. I don't want to say more because I don't know. Like as you said, we might be a bit Peggy
Peggy PG.
yeah, PG, right? Yeah. So but it has a very interesting backstory. I will recommend going in the compendium entries and try to understand what happened, because it's very traumatic, and it's also like one of the darkest let's say areas of our plot in general. Like it's a very dark moment. And it's very related to all the gods and these bosses and this area in general. So
I love that. That's so cool.
It's definitely cool.
That's awesome.
You were talking about the roadmap. What's on the roadmap? What's this look like now for the future moving forward with Entoria The Last Song?
DLC?
Oh, I know. No comment on that, but
Yes.
definitely yes. Right, as I said before, like right now we want to fix the game and listen to the feedback. We definitely have to go through another probably month of pure stabilization of everything, because it's very hard. Again, Unreal Engine 5 is pretty demanding as an engine, and we don't have huge problem with consoles, but on PC, you can find people that maybe don't have a huge like super pro gamer PC, so it can be quite demanding. So we want to make sure that everybody has the highest standard possible experience. Of course, like tuning and fine tuning everything, balancing the game out. This is something that we are doing constantly, just because the more we go forward, the more we have players, the more we receive feedback. I gotta say that definitely we are right now in a better spot, that's for sure. But we still feel like there is stuff to do. Of course, you can find the entire roadmap on Steam, but definitely quality of life improvements are gonna be the top prior after all the fixes and everything. Aside from a couple that are very important, like key bindings and stuff like that. So no worries, PC gamers, we're doing key bindings.
There you go.
Nice.
And we'll see. We'll see. Honestly, I cannot say more right now. But we definitely want to expand the IP of Entoria in some ways.
I think I speak for all of us. We want you to expand it too.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
You have 3 lifelong fans now.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you got to imagine, like we made a game out of Italian tradition and culture. Like we can make 20 games.
Yep.
Just out of that.
Like, I'm so happy that you've made this game. Like, it's
thank you.
Literally, it's amazing. It's there's a little bit of Dark Souls. There's a lot of Dark Souls in it, but it's your own entity, and it just feels like taking in the scenery and everything. It feels different. It doesn't feel as dark and grim and like it is grim and it's refreshing. And it's just like, I can't say it enough, but you did a fantastic job on the spectacle of everything. It's beautiful. Even with the ray coming in, the water physics you even had, beautiful. Just beautiful.
Oh, thank you very much.
Go ahead.
No, it's very nice to hear, because as we were speaking off camera, like you've been to Italy, so you know.
Yep. Oh yeah, I sucked it all in. I was like, I brought my girlfriend who's not a gamer, who's like, I have one of those Carnival masks back home in Ireland. I do have one question for you though, and I cover a lot of Xbox stuff, and I'm sure me and Drew and everyone, but we're all watching. A lot of Xbox gamers are still wondering about when's it coming to Xbox.
We don't have a date yet, just because we want to be super sure, like 100%, guys. We know that there's been like a bit of drama behind the Xbox version of this game, to say the least. But I have to say, like, Xbox responded immediately, and they were super, super kind. It's something that usually doesn't happen. I also want to add this. It was a bit of there was a bit of a misunderstanding, and ultimately the community was great. They helped us a lot in this situation.
Yeah, you have a big fan base that want it there for sure.
Oh yeah,
we covered it. Yeah.
We definitely are coming out on Xbox. I just want to wait for a second just to have the final date, because we don't want to mess with Xbox community anymore. We don't want to give false promises or stuff like that. So we just want to be super sure. Of course,
respect that.
Yeah, Series S is a bit.
Yeah, it's.
Let's talk about that. Actually, let's talk about that, because Mike and I talk about it all the time on the Daily Show. That the fact that the Series S probably should have never come out. I get Xbox wanted to get the market. Go, hey, here's the less expensive console, and I'm gonna call it the lesser of the Xbox as well, because there truly is. But when you take a look at PlayStation, you have one platform to build for. Now with Xbox, you have two, and most studios seem to be struggling with the fact that there's two Xbox consoles.
Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate is a prime example. Right? Like, Black Myth Wukong?
Yeah.
Is that the one I was thinking of? Right? Also, what happened there? But anywhere,
I'm telling you, like I personally know like the lead engineer of Larian Games. He's a super smart guy. Like they have a top-notch engineering team. If they struggle with it, imagine
There's
us.
something wrong.
I don't want to say there is something wrong.
I'm
but,
saying something wrong.
right. you can say. We currently have this issue where if you want to release on Xbox Series X, the game must be also compatible on S. So you gotta be careful on what you do because it has to work on both consoles. And so, like when we did the public statement saying the game is ready on Xbox, that was true. The game was ready on Xbox Series X.
Not S.
And S it is ready, but it's struggling a bit with some stuff that shouldn't be a struggle. Because the problem is the very low RAM that the console has, and it's a very technical thing. I'm not the most suited person to tell this, and but yes, it's coming. This is the most important thing. Like, we want to release the game on Xbox. We know that community would love to have the game on Xbox, so definitely.
No, that's great. Thank you for being very honest, as honest as you can.
No worries.
I appreciate that. Drew, do you have anything?
Dude, I'm just getting started.
He's got a ton. He's got a ton.
I'm just gonna go to sleep now.
No, like we always keep gushing over here, right? Like that's the biggest thing. I was so surprised by it. Went down to Summer Game Fest. Actually, I sat with you, Eddie, on the couch playing the game, and it locked up because it overheated the PCs we were playing on at the time.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, do you remember?
I do. I remember. Do you remember?
No, I do, because we had to open up. We had the same issues with at Gamescom, because the PCs were locked up inside of a box.
Yeah.
So they couldn't, they overheat a lot. But yeah, of course, like it was back in June. It was before we already released the demo by then.
Yep.
But yeah, it is a very demanding thing. We're coming to a point where hardware is struggling to stay on the same pace of software right now, because software is going forward like dramatically. We have technologies that are amazing but not usable right now, and that's the thing. And we are now in this huge loop where people, of course, it's expecting more because they see like super talented teams doing amazing stuff, or they see like Epic Games demos with super hyper realistic stuff happening. But unfortunately, this is very easily misunderstandable, because that's not production ready. That's not something you can make it actually work for a video game. So I want to say like there is a huge expectation. There is a huge standard for graphics, especially right now, which cannot be met by the current hardware for the majority of the times. So we have to find a lot of escamotages or workaround to make everything possible. And yes, when you use like a very, very brand new engine, like Unreal Engine 5 is amazing. If I had this kind of software when I was studying, like right now everybody can make a game. I'm telling you, like not to say that professionals are not like professionals, but everybody, like, it's open source. You have all the newest technologies. You have a lot of free assets and content. It's nowadays more user friendly than it was before. So we have these amazing technologies, and they're super available to everybody, super open. But unfortunately, to make it work the right way, it's very difficult.
There's rumors about the PlayStation 6, Xbox working on their next console. Is that something you expect? Yeah, in a handheld. Again, Xbox going 2 SKUs, which I think is going to hurt them in the end. But
There's going to be 3.
Oh man, like I don't understand. But either way, that's Xbox, and they seem to be struggling this year. Actually, they just continue to struggle. Never mind.
Yeah, thank you. I was going to say.
Well, it is. It's so frustrating because we talk about PlayStation, how well they do, and then we get Entoria on PlayStation, which I have it on PlayStation, I have it on PC, and it runs incredibly well. I'm fortunate to have a very high-end PC, so to pull something out, like I'm running a 4090. So, dude, your game of flies on my PC. It's a Razer laptop, and it just flies. It just sings on it, right? Get into my PlayStation, it works there. Coming to Xbox, I'm a little nervous for you. Straight up, just because Xbox as a company seems to struggle day in and day out with games not working properly, right? So when we talk about next generation, is that something your team is already looking towards? Is building for the PS6 and the next generation of Xbox consoles?
No, just because I think they're gonna be too far away in the time to think about it now.
In front of you.
Yeah, just because, like, to be fair, like, let's take PS5 for example. PS5 now released the PS5 Pro, right?
Yeah,
and of course now it is mandatory to have the new SDKs inside of the game to support the PS5 Pro. But the reality is that very, very few development team can really, let's say, use the PS5 at its best. I want to say at its full potential. They can really exploit it at its full potential. Okay. Technologically, like hardware speaking, PS5 it is kind of a powerful machine. It's a bit tricky, that's for sure. And the same goes for Xbox Series X, of course. I don't see a PS6 coming out like in the next 4 years, probably.
Yeah, I think roughly 4 to 5.
I think
we're currently like mid-gen, probably.
Yeah. So this is why we're getting a Pro upgrade, and then Xbox is now, who knows what Xbox is doing, but there's more rumors on not a Pro version, but a next generation. So I'm wondering if they're looking in their side, going maybe we come out sooner, get ahead of PlayStation. But it's just, I don't know, interesting to see where you're standing from a developer standpoint. Us as the media go, man, like, what are you guys going to do to solve your issue over here? And you got your own batch of issues you're working with. And how do you get ready for, like you say, when the PlayStation Pro drops? Now you got another SDK that needs to be solved and functional for your game. There's enough on your plate. Does that now look towards, instead of maybe just enhancing everything, do we look towards maybe a sequel for an Entoria 2?
Well, again, they're expanding it. They want to expand it,
right? The thing is, Entoria has been it is an IP in the end, right? It's not just a single thing that happened and something, right? We are looking to expand the IP, meaning it can be in various different ways. Of course, we mainly do video games. That's true.
Well, you could make a mobile game as well.
We can do whatever, honestly, because the biggest effort was in the world building, and we had a lot of stuff that we didn't show in the first game about the world building. It's actually pretty big because we take from Italian tradition and we try to fit it inside of this fantasy world in a twisted way. But we yes, of course, like the company as a future with Entoria as an IP in general. Again, unfortunately, I cannot say more right now.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
For sure. Yeah. What's the feedback been like from the community?
It is very divided right now. Like, there is people that absolutely love the game. There is people that absolutely hate the game.
I've seen it.
It depends. Again, unfortunately, a lot of people encountered a lot of issues and bugs and stuff like that. This is why we're now focusing on fixing everything. The good feeling is that most of the people enjoy the gameplay and the game itself, right? They didn't have any problem with the game itself. Everybody, for the majority of people that was complaining about the game was because of bugs mainly, and, again, quality of life stuff like I don't have key bindings and stuff like that. And the price point, but that's not really an issue. Like, they can just wait for the sales and just buy it when it's in sale. Like, a lot of people is gonna do it anyways, right?
I recommend people buy it and support the studio.
Yeah, but people they don't see it that way, right?
It's unfortunate.
I mean, it's life. Like, it's not that it's unfortunate or it is what it is. It's because I feel like nowadays video games are seen as products more than art for the majority of people, because they're so used to be abused by AAA industry in general over the years. and they have been treated like product consumers instead of gamers, right?
Yeah.
So they now see all the video games market as a huge supermarket where they can buy at the best price, and that's the thing. They don't, for the most part, they don't go beyond and see what's behind it. But there is actually a lot of people that do so, and we had a lot of we have a very, very strong enough community and affectionate community. So people actually, it is a bit split. We received a bit of hate from Italy, which is very weird to me, but this is how Italy works sometimes. But I have to say, like this, it's like the 5% of people that hate is gonna be just louder most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely a lot of people saw what's behind everything, and they really appreciated it. So this is why we're very happy right now. This was the final mission of the game, and to let people know Italy. And we have a lot of people now saying, I'm learning Italian because of your game.
That's awesome.
I want to go to Italy because of your game.
Go, please go.
Oh yeah, come please.
Go, it's great.
We actually love tourism. We're not those guys that hate tourism.
No, yeah, every time I've been 6 or 7 times, and I absolutely loved being there. And mainly because a lot of us were Irish that went there, like but even like so accommodating. A bunch of us got lost, and I know the hatred between AC Milan and Inter Milan was quite great.
Oh wow.
It was bad. Like I went to see one of the games, but every time we asked like different fans, they were so accommodating. Like, oh yeah, no, you got to go on this side and watch these guys over there, and don't get a flare in your eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you attended the derby. You attended the Milan.
Yeah, I did. AC Milan. Yeah, that was 2017, I think. 16.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's a wide experience, definitely.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I'm for AC Milan, so I'm supposing we lost that derby much probably.
To be honest, I can't really remember because most of us were just so excited just to, like, it's proper European football. Like the fans were going absolutely crazy. It was like going to a concert.
Oh yeah,
like,
San Siro is wonderful.
Yeah, it was just amazing. Like I loved the whole thing, and Lake Garda is beautiful, and go to Italy.
Yeah, yeah, we're loud people, definitely.
Oh yeah, good people though.
Eddie, I want to talk about your release date.
Release date.
I want to talk about it. So, release in September 19th.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. How did you pick your release date? Michael and I are often now grilling developers as to what was the mind frame of, hey, we should go in September because September wasn't freaking busy enough. You guys had to toss your game into the mix, which we already had our eye on. Dude, we had 1,000 games that month. You guys added to the mix. Is that concerning to go, man, we're up against this one. We're up against that one. We're up against this game. We're up against that game, right? Because that is not a quiet month. And it seems to be every September, there are probably for us on the team, at least 15 titles we're covering in the month of September. We're a small team. Dude, that's a headache. You got to save me for the Entoria 2 and pick a different month, all right? But what's the mind frame? What's the mind frame like, though, when you pick a date? Is that like, why? Why September?
I mean, the release date drama is something unbelievable. I don't know if you followed everything, but we announced back in February the release date on June, and it was like February something. After 3 days, Elden Ring Shadow dropped the trailer for the DLC, announcing the same exact release date. On the 21st of June. So I still remember because we were all together with the team in the studio watching in the premiere the trailer to see the date. Let's please stay away from us. Please stay away from us. Like being September, August, I don't know. 21st of June, we started laughing and crying at the same time. So we had to change everything again. Cool thing is we had more time to polish the game, of course, but we had to switch again, and we moved to the 20th of August. What happened is that 1 month later, Black Myth Wukong announced their release date. And guess when it was?
On
Yes.
same day?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So again, at this point, it was a bit of a meme inside of the of our community, and also the press was memeing about this situation because what you gotta do? Like they were all super. They understood the situation. It was poor guys. What they have to do. So we moved to September, which made more sense for two reasons. First of all, is the best window in the year with March. Usually, you have March and September being the best year because it's after the summer, so people is coming back and they want to play, and it stays away from Christmas enough, so you can have sales for Christmas and stuff like that. And usually, huge AAAs hit a lot on Christmas, and you don't sell anything because people is gonna buy AAAs usually.
The FIFA, the man.
Yeah, exactly. So you have the Christmas newbies from COD and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's a very common window because of that. At the same time, we didn't have Souls-like coming. The only thing that came out was God of War. I think it was the same day, right?
Yep.
Yeah, PC.
PC, yep.
Yeah. God of War PC, which wasn't a huge threat for two main reasons.
No.
First of all, it's not the same. I don't want to
Type of
say
game.
target audience. Yeah, it's not the same target audience, and at the same time, it was a remastered on, like it was just moved on PC. So a lot of people probably already played it. I think they still have probably sold like millions of copies, but ultimately the best fit was 19th of September, and these are the main marketing reasons. Other reasons are simply we are an indie self-funded company and we need to have, at some point, incomes. That's another reality of things. And I feel this is pretty understandable. We didn't have a huge budget, but at the same time it was the only budget we had. So we had to get out somehow in that period, and October felt way too long for marketing and financial reasons. So
October is very busy as well.
Yeah.
I almost feel like you can't win, to be honest, right? Like at the end of the day, it's like, when do you just let your game go out into the wild and then cross your fingers and hope for the best? So September, I don't know. It seemed to work for me anyways. Like I'm still playing it now, right? Like that's the biggest thing. Like here we are, we're almost in the middle of October and I'm still continuing to play the game. Still waiting for that photo mode. Eddie, there's no map in the game. Is that something we can look for? Because, dude, I get lost once in a while here.
Yeah.
Never really matched Souls-like games.
Yeah, you just played Elden Ring, right?
Yeah, well, I play it all the time. Like that's one of the few that has a map. But
I think it's the only one that has a map.
Yeah. I guess the scale-wise is very different, but it's part of the journey where you just gotta, like, just how you have to figure out the combat and stuff. You gotta figure out, like, keep your eyes open to make sure you know what did I miss, and then you walk past, you're like, oh my god, like how did I miss that?
Yeah, and that's I mean the reason is because mainly the genre. One of the pillar of the genre is that it's difficult. It has to be difficult.
It's exploration.
Yeah, and that's the second reason. Like, you want to get lost sometime in the beauty of the world, first of all, and second of all, to compensate, kinda, right? We try to reward as much as possible exploration. So when you
find a boss.
Yeah, you find alternative bosses, you find chests, you find compendium entries that gives you credits. Yeah. So we try to compensate the lack of a map with good level design. I mean, we tried our best with level design. It's super complex with Souls-likes.
Very cool.
And rewarding exploration mainly.
Yep, I found one or two bosses that I'm pretty sure I wasn't meant to find, and I did.
Yeah, I don't belong here right now.
Probably.
Yeah. Can we miss stuff? Because here's the thing: when Michael and I were streaming the game, we were live, and I ran into a crab. This big crab boss came out.
I remember that.
Dude, it scared the crap right out of me. I had no idea it was there. It just comes right out of the water. Just nail.
Yep.
I went around the crab. So I never triggered the boss to pop. and then I went off, and then I got to this one guy who just annihilated me, came back again later, beat him, and then I had to go back over to where the crab was. I went around that again and up these massive stairs. I'm almost done the level, and I've yet to see that crab. Never encountered him after that one point. I never touched him. I walked away.
That's you can do in Souls-like games, though. Like, that's part of the fun, is like, you can, as he said earlier on, you can outsmart the game and how to progress.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, there is a lot of content that can be cut during a usual new game run in Souls-likes. This is why you have New Game Plus. It's not just because you want to have replayability of the game, but also because, okay, now I finished the main storyline, because maybe I was interested in the main storyline, in understanding the game, and now I'm gonna hop into New Game Plus, so it's more difficult, but I retain all my equipment, and this time I'll take it, I'll take my time, I wanna explore, I wanna dig deeper, exactly. And it's actually a very, very big part of the core loop of the game.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to see everything in the first run, and this is why you have different finales of the game. You're not supposed to trigger all the finales in just one run.
It's a very different game, but very similar to why people consistently go back and play like The Witcher and Skyrim and Oblivion.
Exactly.
Because no one playthrough is the exact same. Like, you will constantly find. That's what keeps people engaged.
Yeah, I also feel like it can be a bit overwhelming if you do everything in one run. You
won't get the full experience.
Yeah, like, that's the thing.
If you'll be stressed out.
Yeah, you usually don't want to. You have a certain pace in mind, right? During the player journey, it's not supposed to be like 40 hours during the first game. It's probably more enjoyable if you do something like 15, something like that. You do the first game, it's 15, cool. It was nice, well put together, right pace of event happening and stuff like that. Then you go back, and then you have the full thing. I did the same thing with Baldur's Gate, for instance. Like, I was interested in the main storyline. I finished one campaign, go straight, like 20 hours something, and then I went back, and then I can start a campaign like 200 hours long, because I want to do all the secondaries and stuff like that.
What are you playing right now?
What am I playing right now? Cuphead. I never had the opportunity. Yeah, I know. Okay. I'm super late on that.
I talked about that as well. I bought it like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm super late on this, but I'm in a period that I have to say I'm a bit burnt out by video games. It was a very stressful couple of months. I just said with the release and everything. So I'm a bit, cooling down right now. I'm all just reading and watching movies for the majority of time, but I always had in the backlog of huge. I know for sure you have the same thing. Like, you had 1 bazillion games on Steam and you never played it, right? So I decided, because I love the art of Cuphead. I love a very unique games on the art side and very on an artistic point of view. So I wanted to try Cuphead. Little did I know it's so difficult.
Dark Souls.
and I had this bad idea in mind. I was with my girlfriend, and I said, "Oh, we can play co-op." She never played in her life, man. Never. Never. So we start the first boss, and I say, okay, maybe you know what? This is not the right game to play together. Let's go back to It Takes Two or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's funny.
But it is brilliant. Actually, it is stressful as a game, but it's so wonderful that I'm zen when I play it. Like,
I love it.
I'm so overwhelmed by the amazing 30s graphic vibe that I'm playing that right now. It's gonna take a while.
It's good
for sure.
Yeah, it's a very difficult game, but it's absolute. I don't know if you're aware, there's a Netflix show for it as well.
Oh yeah, I also have to go back to that. Yeah, definitely.
I just wish it had online co-op, because like my girlfriend is like, she struggles playing Crash Team Racing. I can't do that to her. Help me!
All right, so let's pretend you guys are done. Entoria The Last Song, all bugs are fixed. We're now getting ready, hypothetically, for a sequel. What do you want to see changed or brought over into the sequel?
I would love. Again, I'm a story-driven guy. I would love to put much more effort in a very well-written plot and having it more narrative-oriented and less Souls-like, honestly. And again, it's not just because I'm biased that I don't really like Souls-like and I love story-driven games. I just feel like right now, the Souls-like market is a bit
oversaturated.
Yeah, it is a bit saturated, and honestly, it's so difficult as a genre to make on a development point of view that I don't want to say it's not worth it. It is worth it. We learned so much from making this game. We have now an expertise that is amazing. But at the same time, I feel like a very strong skill we have in Europe is having good writers. We have CD Projekt, we have Larian, we have this kind of people, right?
Yeah.
We have very good writers. We have a very good culture. So, in my opinion, digging more inside of the narrative on the narrative side and the story and everything would be great. Like,
could broaden their audience as well, like your potential customers as well. Because a lot of people these days are too scared to jump in on a Souls-like.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of fantasy in general. Like, I'm a huge fan of The Witcher, for instance. I would love to have the Witcher experience mainly, because if you think about that, The Witcher is about Polish folklore.
Yep.
It's it's a fantasy action RPG based on of course, on the books, but on Polish folklore. So I would love to see something like that, where you have a strong main character, meaning a strong characterization. Yeah, right. Like Geralt. Geralt is a super strong character because it's very charismatic. Is this guy that is very mysterious. I would love to have that thing. I would love to have that hero journey with my hero. That's someone that I can love. Honestly, I'm a huge
a silent partner.
Yeah, I love Berserk for the same thing.
Yeah. Oh, Berserk, yeah, guts.
Yeah,
Dude, that's cool. I like that idea.
That's
I
awesome.
like it a lot. All right, let's play a little game. You guys ready?
all right.
We're gonna play a little game.
I don't have alcohol with me.
No, that's too bad for you. What do you think is in this thing? No, I'm just kidding. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. This is where things got a little R-rated. So, you ever heard of the game Fuck,
Wait, what?
Marry,
Wait, what?
and Kill? You ever heard of that?
Oh yeah.
We're gonna do that with 3 Souls-like games. You gotta fuck one of them, you're gonna marry one of them, and you're gonna kill the other. All right, you guys ready?
Oh God, yeah,
right.
let's go.
All right. Okay, so of course we're gonna have Elden Ring in the list. We're gonna go with Black Myth Wukong, and then our third one going to be. Let's do. There's so many obvious ones. I don't want to do an obvious one. Let's go with Liza P as our third.
Okay.
Okay. So you got Elden Ring. Eddie, we're gonna start with you. If you're going to fuck one of them,
He's like,
what game are you picking?
I will fuck Black Myth Wukong.
Nice. Okay.
Harry Elden Ring.
I will marry Elden Ring and I will kill Lies of P.
That's the exact same answer for me.
Oh, dude, that made it easy. Michael, where are you at? Where are you at?
I don't want to be lame, but that was my answer. He stole it right from me. That was the 3.
I think you should try again with Elden Ring, Bloodborne.
Okay, let's do it this way. Let's do it this way then.
One.
Let's go with Demon Souls,
Demon's Souls remake.
Bloodborne, and Elden Ring. Let's do all From Software titles. Let's go with that way. Let's do that way. All right, Eddie, you're up.
That's a tough one.
You said Bloodborne, Elden Ring, and Demon Souls, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I marry Demon Souls.
Yeah.
That's actually my first Souls-like, and it's probably the only one that I really enjoyed of the Souls saga, if you want to say.
Sure.
The PS5 remake is so good.
Yeah. Elden Ring and what was that? Bloodborne. Wow. I gotta fuck Bloodborne and kill Elden Ring.
Oh!
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I love goth stuff, and you know, Milan is very gothic. Like it's our style, and I cannot just. I fuck with that. Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, Alton, your turn. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm fucking Demon Souls, marrying Elden Ring, and I'm killing Bloodborne.
Wow.
Hmm?
You're killing Bloodborne, man.
I'm killing Bloodborne. I'll fight any man.
All right, Michael, your turn, buddy. What do you got?
Get ready.
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh man. All right. Let's see here. I'm gonna go with fucking Elden Ring. I think that's just the one I keep coming back to. It's the old reliable. I'll marry Bloodborne because I know I'm never gonna be able to upgrade from it. There's never gonna be another one, unfortunately. I'm sticking with the true Bloodborne. I don't think we're getting another one.
No sequel. No sequel.
No sequel. I'm locking in with that one, saying I can't upgrade from this, and then I'm killing Demon Soul. I'll be honest.
All
No,
right.
it makes sense.
All right.
But you see, Bloodborne is never coming back to me. It's a one night stand.
Yeah.
This is why I
with
fuck
that
with
bit
it.
of a scratch.
Oh, that's
Why
funny.
does it hurt?
All right, so let's see. See, I would fuck. Let's go with Demon Souls. I'm gonna kill off Bloodborne because it's not for me. And then obviously we're left with Elden Ring. So that's where I am at. Yeah, that's.
Yeah,
I
let's-
do enjoy
Who
them all,
Bloodborne
though.
is?
Just to be clear, I enjoy them all.
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah.
But I'm not
yeah.
a Souls-like guy, right? So that's what I said. For me, this is completely out of my realm. But for me, it's been all in Otria. It's been an absolute blast. I did not expect it. Did not expect this at all. So I said, ready into you down at Summer Gamecast. Ran into Leona there, and I was like, "Yo, what is this? Like, you gotta check this out." I said, "I'm not a Souls guy." But here we are, right? Who never thought in my journalistic journey I'd be talking about this one day. It's been a ton of fun.
Pleasure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And kudos to you and the team. You did a phenomenal job, and I
Thank
can't
you.
wait to see more, play more, and yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah, the team it's phenomenal. Thinking about what we did in just 3 years and in so many people, like 50 people, it is amazing. It was a journey, wonderful journey, super stressful but wonderful. So yeah, thank you very much.
It's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. Eddie, you're always welcome back on the show. Everybody, this is going to wrap up our time with Eddie from Jyamma Games. Thank you so much. Entoria The Last Song. Go check it out. Currently on PC, on PlayStation. Coming to
Sometime on
Xbox.
Xbox.
It's coming. It's coming. We'll let everybody know when. We'll get the press release. Eddie, we'll be talking to Eddie once again. We'll have you back on the show sometime soon. Yeah, cannot wait. Everybody, as always, thank you for hanging out with us. That's been Eddie. That is Michael. That is all. I'm Drew. And we'll see you inside the game.
Hail to the king, baby. It's Duke Nukem, and it's time for Inside the Game. Sit down and shut up and start watching.